What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bigfry, and this isn't a video that I was actually expecting to be doing this week. What with Call of Duty, Borderlands, World of Warcraft, all these things taking up all of my time. Atomic Heart is something that we haven't talked about in about 8 months since the last video that I put out, in which I covered leaks from the studio, within the studio, where they were talking about how the game is in development hell, how there's so many different problems. They're hiring students straight out of high school, and there was a lot of issues. And in that video, I specifically stated that they weren't my words. I was just reporting on a leak coming from inside the studio. And Mundfish, the developers behind Atomic Heart, have put out a video where this is a very awkward situation. They brought in Richard Gray, who worked on Duke Nukem, Quake. He's an old school industry veteran, and he's been in this industry for about 25 years. This is a 17-minute video in which they basically just interview Richard Gray and ask him about his game development knowledge, what he likes and dislikes about Atomic Heart. And I noticed that about halfway through, he started to address some of the things that I had said in my video, some of the things that were said in that Reddit post, and we're going to go through it here because there's a lot to digest. So, in that video that I covered, the biggest issues that was apparently coming out of the studio was that it lacks clear game design, it excels in visual direction, which is good. The initial phases of development, someone from the higher-ups played a bit of Doom, came to the office, let's make it like that, and that's how things were implemented into the game. It lacks management. The game's very linear. Impulsive layoffs also have dealt their damage, and I'm reading this right off of the original translation. In general, Russia lacks good C++ and UE4 devs, and these were laid off anyways. Several people have confirmed that none of the workers are registered workers. This was all the things that were going on back when I made my video. Crunches were present. There was just a whole bunch of issues. And if you go back to that video, I'll have the video link down below. Underneath that video in the top pinned comment is where all of these sources are coming from, so you guys can go and watch that. So this video with Richard Gray was a very thinly veiled attempt to negate all of those things. And the reason why I don't like that is because it just feels like it adds more fishiness on top of what's actually happening. So in this video, he goes in and he starts to talk about some of the things that he read online. The simple premise is this guy hasn't been in the industry in about 12 years. He doesn't like video games. He never really enjoyed any of the demos that his colleagues from the industry had sent him. He would just kind of, throw them off to the side, say he played them and tell them it was good, but he just wasn't interested in video games. But guys, Atomic Heart is bringing him back out. The fact is Atomic Heart and Mundfish is the studio's based in Moscow, and that's where Richard Gray actually lives. So of course it was a natural collaboration. But he says in the video that he is going to be a spokesperson, or they're looking for him to be the spokesperson of this project. I would say because they have him in a video interview and all that, I would say most likely he is the spokesperson of this project moving forward.
Well, I guess we are now considering, because here I am. I'm being asked to perhaps be the spokesperson. There's been a lot of there's no such thing as bad press. People talking about you, whether it's good or bad, it's a good thing to be talked about.
But in the video, there's a lot of like weird ramblings. Like at one point, he's getting angry because apparently there's a misconception among gamers that open world games means the entire Earth and not just an open landscape. And it's just a very like old school way of thinking.
People have a misconception. That's another thing that makes me mad, is this whole thing. People think open world means you have the whole Earth to explore. That's not what open world means. Open world means, as I think you described, Rob, already, means it's not a linear game. You don't follow. It's an open. And this shit where people say, oh, but it's only this big. It's like, fuck you. It's not the whole fucking Earth. It's just this section here. But anyhow.
I mean, actually, fuck you, because I really don't think anybody thinks open world games means the entire fucking Earth, Richard. That makes no sense. But the one that got me is how he was talking about how he wanted to go and see the studio before, he agreed to sign anything or whatever, because he had read online about critiques and different things. The trolls is how he summed it up. I'm going to play the clip here.
Of course, the programmers. But nowadays, there's schools and all that, so it's a much different type of person, your employees and the people that make up the team. But in particular here, again, I've seen things and read things online where people are saying things, and I don't know how the hell they think they know these things. When I first started talking with Rob, and we were talking about me becoming part of the project, I said, of course, well, I want to see, because I had read online of all the different criticisms and the trolls. Most of them are trolls, even though some of them are professional. So I insisted that before I agreed to sign on, that I go and see what's actually going on.
Now, that even though some of them are professional, I don't know if that's talking about me. I really don't. I don't think it is. My video has about 200,000 views on it. I don't, like, when you search Atomic Heart, I'm at the top of the list. I think I'm top 4. Development Hell and Potential Scam. That is the title. If you Google Atomic Heart, Development Hell, there's a few like subreddits, PC Gaming. There's a few posts there that have like 100 upvotes. There's a few random articles kind of talking about it, but nothing like on a major publication level like Kotaku or Polygon or whatever. I know they saw the video because at the time they actually reached out to put a statement out, and they made me pin that. Well, didn't make me, but they asked me to pin it at the top comment, which I did. I obliged. Like, I'd love to hear both sides of the story, because it's not me sitting here being like, this game's a fucking scam. It's me just like, hey, look at what's being said. This is some information. Maybe hold off on a pre-order. But I feel like that oh, the critiques are just trolls comment, I feel like that's talking about people like me. I'm not a big fan of that kind of attitude, especially when there's a beta being tied behind a pre-order bonus. If they look at this right now as critiques are trolls and people are just being negative, that's not a good outlook moving forward in development. In my opinion, that's just a critique or a troll, or however you want to summarize it. So if I were to pre-order the most expensive edition and then gave you critiques during the beta, and let's say it was overly negative, and let's say it was very critical of some of the things that we were seeing in there, would you chalk it up as a troll, or would you chalk it up as useful feedback? It's just, to me, it's just not a good look. But the overall interview, and I'll link the interview down below, you guys can watch it, and I would love if you guys actually did go watch it, subscribe to the channel, and then at least if there is an actual game coming, we can follow along. The whole premise of my video was the fact that there was a leaked conversation or a leaked discussion from somebody within the studio who explained all of these things, and this is a potential development hell situation. It wasn't a confirmed. I actually think I said in the video, I was like, these aren't my words. I just want to say that right off the bat. I'm just giving you guys the information that's been given to me. The whole premise of this interview with Richard Gray was an attempt to do two things. The first one was to add validity to the project, because some of the accusations were that nobody really knows what the hell is going on in the game development sector of this studio. There's no project management, there's no nothing. So to bring somebody in who's an industry veteran, who has worked on games like Quake and Duke Nukem, cool, validity to the project. And I also feel like they subtly let him go and talk about certain things to negate all of the things that were said back 7 or 8 months ago with the leaks, talking about how there's no kids there. And he literally says there's no kids working there. They're all industry veterans. The way he put it just tells me that he is addressing that point that was made 8 months ago.
So, it's a bunch of talented people, professionals. Again, these aren't kids. They're all veterans of other big games.
At the end, when he's talking about how he's so excited that he pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I'm very excited and looking forward to the Atomic Heart coming out. I have been since I first saw it. In fact, I've already pre-bought, pre-ordered the Founders version before all this happened. Before I thought I might be joining the project, but I'm looking very much forward to it coming out. To see for me, the biggest part is the story.
The fact that this guy hasn't really done anything in video games, him admittedly, these are his words, but yet came back for Atomic Heart because he's so excited. To me, this whole video felt staged, but very poorly, thinly veiled staged. Like they brought him in to say these things to add validity to the project and negate the trolls and the haters. And when I see something like that and I get that feeling, all it does is make me more suspicious. Now, you guys are seeing on screen here, I went to their website and I downloaded, they have a tech demo for RTX. So you guys are seeing maybe some gameplay here. I'm recording this audio before I even dive into the demo. I don't even know what the hell the demo is going to be, but you guys are going to be seeing it on the screen here. I'm very suspicious of this game. There are clips in this video that show off a studio, people working and creating Atomic Heart, which kind of conflicts with me as well because it looks like they're doing something here. And it looks like they have a decent sized team of people who are working on this. But when you do the interview and stage it the way you did, and at some points you even see Richard look over and mention the fact that Rob is in the room. If you guys don't know who Rob is, he is one of the 3 main people that work at Mundfish. In this like leaked document or whatever, they go and they explain who exactly is who. Robert is the CEO/investor. And this says he is a good marketer and is responsible for all the hype that surrounds the game. That's what this fucking document, this leaked document said 8-9 months ago or 7-8 months ago. So he is the guy that is responsible for marketing and hype. So when I see Richard Gray looking off screen or off camera and addressing Rob directly, it makes me wonder how legit this actually is. Let me know what you guys think down below. Again, I'm going to urge you guys to go and watch that entire interview. It felt staged to me, but I would love for you guys to come to your own conclusions and we can have a conversation. Some people saw that interview and instantly thought that the video I put out 7-8 months ago was all false. They believe it 100%, and that's fine. It is what it is. At this point, until we get a game in our hands, it's kind of like a he said, she said studio versus whoever leaked this document. I don't want to be known as a fucking troll. I want to be known as somebody who can bring some information to the table and then give my opinion on it. This interview did nothing for me besides make me more suspicious. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you are liking and sharing these videos, man. It helps so much against the algorithm. I appreciate it so much. If you guys really fucking enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Bigfry. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.